Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Maggie Covarrubias, and I'm one of the practitioners here. And I'm really pleased to be leading you on a meditation this morning, on this beautiful autumn day. And so this morning, we're going to go on a little forest walk. We're going to connect with the trees. And so I invite you, wherever you are, whether you're home or in the sanctuary, to just settle in, let go of any busyness, let go of any chaos that brought you here this morning. Let go of anything from the week. Just let it go, settle in. And if your feet are on the floor, feel the earth beneath them, that blessed earth that feeds us and supports us. So I ask you right now to take a deep breath, a cleansing breath. Breathe that in, hold it for a moment, and release that breath. And another breath, breathing in that sweet air, holding it for a moment. Release that breath. And one final breath, deep breath, breathing in, knowing that all is well, all is sacred. Breathing out. And so I find myself on this beautiful autumn day at the entryway of a forest or a nature center. And I realize that I'm the only one here. There's a soft breeze blowing. And I walk down the path and into the trees, into a beautiful area of trees. I can see the sun above the trees. It glitters through the leaves. And this grove of trees, this beautiful group of trees, is turning their attention towards autumn, turning their attention towards the balance between light and dark, beckoning me to come and recover my balance in life. So I gently walk down the path, and I find myself in an area that is circled by trees, and someone has put in a bench. And I settle into that bench, and I let the trees surround me. I can feel that wisdom. I can sense the depth of their roots. And I realize that there's a beautiful tree, old tree, right next to me. I put my hand on it. I feel its beautiful bark, rough, yet strong and wise. And I think that I am part of that wisdom, part of that life, part of that strength. I take that in for a moment. I look up at the leafy canopy above me. I feel totally at peace. And I see that the trees have begun their autumn dance, their dance of colors. There are leaves that are russet, leaves of gold, leaves turning a beautiful brown, all beautiful colors above me. And as I look at those leaves, I see one of them drift down, slowly drifts down in its final dance of the season. Slowly down and gently lands on the ground. And I think to myself that I've had to do that sort of dance in my life. That there are times when it's the moment to let go, to let whatever is no longer serving me drift gently, beautifully to the ground. And I realize that the trees are beckoning me to do just that. And so I take a moment and I think of something that no longer serves me. Something that perhaps in the past brought me joy, served its divine purpose in my life. I bring that to my consciousness. And I feel that it is weighing me down now. I feel that it is time to let it go. And so right here, right now, just as my beautiful companions, the trees, I bless that thing that's been heavy on my heart or has been feeling like it no longer belongs to me. I bless that for having come into my life, served its purpose, and I let it go. I let it go right now. I feel it softly releasing. I feel it and see it in my mind gently, oh so gently, drifting to the ground. Leaving a space for new growth, for grace, for love. And the trees around me seem to understand this letting go that I'm doing. The soft breeze whispers to me and says, yes, beloved, yes. Let it go. And I breathe. I breathe in that freedom. And as I continue my meditation among the trees, I realize that they're sharing their strength with me and their joy, their wisdom. For they have stood watch over me, over the creatures of the forest. And they have stood strong through storms, through droughts, through difficult winters. And they are here standing strong. And they offer me, as I sit here amongst them, they offer me that strength, that wisdom. And I accept it, I take it in. I see as I look up at the trees that some of them have seed pods, that they are already, as they let go of what needs to be released, that they are also creating new life. And as I think about that, and the space I've created by releasing that which no longer serves me, I realize there is something new ready to grow. And it occurs to me that whether a tree is a sapling or a younger tree or a beautiful older tree like these, that their roots are running deep. That they are providing life and sustenance to the world around them. That they are a blessed part of this earth. And I realize I am too. And so seeing that they're creating new life, I let in new dreams, new visions. I've created a space. And so I say yes to that new life that I've created, to that new opportunity, new dream. And I breathe deeply, knowing that this is a sacred moment, that I am blessed, that this beautiful grove of trees has been my teacher. And so I know all is well, all is blessed. And so it is.
Good morning and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Radiant and this is Reverend Linda, and we are grateful members of your Joy Note song leading team. If you have interest in becoming a Joy Note, if you can hold a tune and you like to provide a service, we're always looking for helpers. And we also need helpers other places too. So if you have some small time or a little bit more time or a lot of time that you could help serve, we love having volunteer help, and we thrive through our volunteers. Anyway, if you are willing and able, I ask that you rise and we'll sing a couple songs.
God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am. Love is where I am. Love is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, love is where I am. Peace is where I am. Peace is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, peace is where I am. Joy is where I am. Joy is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, joy is where I am.
And back to God.
God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am. Woo!
And so it is. Maybe we could just tell each other that every morning. I don't know. Anyway, if you'll please turn to your neighbor and greet them.
Say hey. Hi, neighbor.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Thanks. And now if you'll return to your seats, we'll sing our second song.
I don't think they can hear you.
And now, if you'll to return to your seats, we'll sing our second song. It's all about the eyebrows.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through every fear. For the Spirit, one Spirit, is in this very room.
And so it is. If you have any devices, please silence them now. And thank you for coming to celebrate this beautiful Sunday with us.
Hello. Is this thing on? Welcome everybody to the Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Kevin Buttry and I'm on your board of trustees, and today is board Sunday. So we're glad to be here and glad to serve. I'd also like to thank everybody for coming out yesterday for the party. We had a really good time. Where do you go from here? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. Yeah, at this center, we know spiritually empowered people live richer, fuller lives. So we use the principles of science of mind to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. If you're new or visiting or have some new info, we'd like you to fill out one of our sheets. They're available out front. There's an urn you can put them in also for prayer requests or anything like that. I'd like to read our Declaration of Principles. We're on number 12. Today is goodness of God. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And so it is. And I'd like to everybody to stand up and join hands, and we'll sing We Are One. And then after that, I'd like to invite the practitioner of the day to come up and lead us in our opening meditation.
We are one. I am you, you are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come. For we are one. We are one. We are one. I am you, you are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come. For we are one.
We are one. I'm going to say an affirmative prayer that is said in the first person because we are indeed all one. And so I invite you to settle in, let go of any of the busyness that brought you here today, and know that right here, right now, there is a power of love and light and life that surrounds me, that embraces me, that vibrates in every cell of my being. This power, this presence, is divine and called by many names. This spirit, this presence is with me in every step I take. And so as we gather here, as I gather here, with this beautiful, beautiful group of souls, I know that there is one presence, perfect, whole, and complete. And in this moment, I allow myself to see myself as Spirit knows me and sees me, beloved, perfect, whole, and complete. And I know that as this service unfolds, that it blesses me. The beautiful words, the amazing music, and the kindness and love that I feel all around me in this community. That it is a blessing shared by me and all those around me. We are one. We travel through this life together, holding each other's hands, lifting each other up, knowing that oneness, that spirit of love. And so I bless this time together. I bless this wonderful service. I know that we are all here for a divine purpose, and that the service blesses us and all those around us. And I affirm this prayer by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Maggie. That's our practitioner today, Maggie Covarubias. Holding high watch is Danu Green. And today's message is Love Thy Neighbor by Reverend Donna Starr and Reverend Linda Lundry Starr. And at this center, we do affirmations. We're on the September affirmation. I'm going to say it once, and if you guys want to say it with me. The Holy Spirit expresses itself as me, so I have the courage to be who I am and love who I am. I choose to remain aware of the presence of love in every being. Say it with me. The Holy Spirit expresses itself as me, so I have the courage to be who I am, love who I am. I choose to remain aware of the presence of love in every being. Today's music is the house band with Matt Treater, Mo Schneider, Paul Worster, featuring Marty Csle.
Having fun? Enjoying it so far? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna do a love song. That's what I'm doing today, okay? Come a little bit closer. Hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. There's a full moon rising. Let's go dancing in the light. We know where the music's playing. Let's go out and feel the night. Still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, 'cause I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon. We were strangers. I watched you from afar. When we were lovers, celebrate and see it shining in your eyes. I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again. I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Still in love with you. Wanna see you dance again. 'Cause I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon.
some more love for Marty Csle and for our house band. What's the name of that little tune?
St. Thomas, Sonny Rollins.
Wow, look at how many people showed up when I wasn't looking. Good morning, CSL, Center for Spiritual Living, Eugene. I'm Reverend Donna Starr. Really just grateful to be here and happy to see everybody. Y'all look pretty shiny. You do. You do. So Reverend Linda and I are going to share the pulpit today, which means that I have 10 minutes. I'm just going to let you sit with that for a minute. I have 10 minutes. And our topic today is love thy neighbor. And what I want to say, first of all, is I've been here, a year and 3 months. A year and 3 months as a staff minister. And this community is exemplary in the love thy neighbor area. I have witnessed some of the most powerful expressions of love between each other. I've felt some of the most amazing expressions of love from you. And I just, gold stars for everybody on the love thy neighbor front. You're doing it. And so what that says to me is, so when I see people who are living a life of outward expression of love, that's a measure of the spiritual health of the people. That's a measure of your own spiritual internal health, your own spiritual practice, and the spiritual health of the community as a whole. So what I see is that y'all are doing your work, right? You're doing your work, and that is reflected out into the world. And that's like metaphysical law number 1. That as we change, as we live, as we practice, as we heal, as we stand grounded in truth, that's how the world changes. That's how the world is. That's how we create our experiences. We create our experiences of life, our life, and life in the greater by how we grow our own self inside. So, good job. See, some of you may know this about me, but I'm just going to out myself. I was raised in a Baptist home. I went to Church of Christ. We were pretty semi-religious. I was raised by my grandparents. They didn't make it out of the house a lot, but I loved going to church. I loved it. I loved the songs. My favorite thing was putting my quarter in the plate. Actually, my favorite thing was sneaking up into the baptismal and then hiding in there. And then when they did baptisms, that was my second favorite thing because I loved the whole ceremony of it. So I had and I loved Vacation Bible School and the whole 9, right? I would ride my bike to church on my own. So I'm not a Christian refugee. I have a pretty solid and healed experience of my childhood upbringing in the church. And what I love about one of the things I love about Ernest Holmes is his reference to Christ, to Jesus as the master teacher. And that's very attainable. The teacher among teachers, not the one and only, not the great exception, the great example. So I feel pretty comfortable bringing in a little scripture. So hang on, strap in, because I can't talk about love thy neighbor without going to the reference. I have to bring in the reference. And then I'll leave it to my wife to clean it up. Thank you. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. So that is from Matthew. Love thy neighbor is actually mentioned 5 different times in the Bible, Old and New Testament. I've got a couple more. Now that we've had that one. No one should seek their own good, but the good of others. That's from the Old Testament. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing, some people have showed hospitality to angels without knowing it. Powerful. I think because I am aware of the spiritual health of this community, I don't think it's necessary for us to review who our neighbors are. I think we know. I think we understand that our neighbors are not just the folks that live on either side of me, but our neighbors are the people that are sitting next to us, our co-workers, right? The people that are cutting me off in the freeway. The person I cut off on the freeway. It's to be real, you know. We know who our neighbors are, the people that we disagree with politically, the people that we disagree with spiritually, the people that we love. We know who our neighbors are. But I feel like sometimes where we may fall short is loving them like we love ourselves. And I feel like sometimes we can forget that we need to love ourselves first. And that it's through that spiritual practice of loving spirit, of being with spirit, that's how we love ourselves. So if I'm not taking care of myself spiritually, I'm not loving myself. And therefore, I get into conflict because now I'm upset about something that I haven't healed. Have I talked 10 minutes yet? Feels like it. I wanted to also bring in a little quote here from Ernest Holmes. So in case you aren't aware, this is our book. This is Ernest Holmes' book. This is the book that we use. It is called The Science of Mind, and our movement is the science of mind and spirit. It doesn't end at mind. We are the science of mind and spirit. And here in Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, in the chapter of what the mystics have taught, he says, well, let me get on the right page. The whole of God is present at any and every point within God. It was to this indwelling spirit that Jesus prayed. For God is within man, as well as throughout all creation. It is that thread of the all-sustaining beauty that runs through all and doth all unite. His lines have gone out into all places. There is no place where God is not. You guys know this one. Love that. There is no place that God is not. That also means that in my discomfort, spirit is present. In my pain, spirit is present. In my confusion, spirit is present. And what I need to remember, and this is where the practice comes in, is to find the spirit within those places. So that when I'm out in the world and that person has just cut me off on the freeway, I don't give him a thumbs down. What I do is I remember that spirit is present, and it's a practice. And now I'm going to turn it over to my wife. Thank you. I'll turn it to Steve. Reverend Linda Lundry Starr.
Not good? Shall I try again? Awesome. Thank you, Reverend Donna, Reverend Wife. That it was all of you that are here, take note, that was the quickest Donna Starr talk I have ever heard. She gave me an opportunity to come up here and look at all of you and your faces. I just have to say, you know, we like to mix it up a little bit, like to blow it up, and so we actually asked for a third song from the band today, and to forego the meditation. my style and Donna's as well is to have some energy when we come up. And so the opening song takes me so deep into meditation. It prepares me to listen to a talk. It does not prepare me to give one. So, and yeah, I want to take a moment and talk about the barbecue we had yesterday and the labyrinth walk on Friday. For all of you, and forgive me, I know I need to not turn my head as much. So, okay, now I'm just going to talk about this microphone for a minute. So, you have no idea what it's like to have this on. It creates this drama. On a Sunday morning, I remember it's like, back in my former days, one of the first times I was wearing a wireless mic, I was walking through the fellowship or social hall area before the service after sound check, and somebody said it to me, and they're like, Linda, I knew that you were going to talk about circulation today, but I had no idea that you were going to be demonstrating elimination. Turn the mic off before you go into the restroom. So, anyway, yeah, I just had to talk about that. So yeah, we did this thing. We had a great weekend. We advertised it. We had a labyrinth walk on Friday night, a ceremony that was absolutely beautiful. I bring this up because we had some new faces that were here. New faces, new ways of being, definitely new ways of walking the labyrinth. I saw some dancing and something, I don't want to, kind of a crane, Karate Kid kind of thing. So it was really, really awesome to be present and to listen to the drumming and the flute. Bethel, our resident Bethel native flute player. We didn't even know. And then she says, hey, I would like to play our flute. And I'm like, okay. It was absolutely gorgeous. So then we had the barbecue, and also a lot of new faces. And I see some faces in the room of folks that I think may have belonged here, but I have not met yet. So it's nice to see all the faces when we're talking about neighborly love. And I, too, saw the love. I saw folks rooting for each other with the raffle tickets, sneaking behind their backs and putting their raffle tickets in for their friends for the things they wanted to win. And I even heard a rumor that if the thing wasn't won, that there was somebody on their phone getting ready to purchase something from Amazon for this person that wanted to win this thing. So again, all this love that we didn't really plan for, but it certainly showed up. Certainly showed up. And all with the music of the Grateful Dead playing in the background, the band that we had, definitely feeding that all we need is love theme. So I want to talk about love thy neighbor for a moment, because Donna's absolutely right. She brought in the scripture. I think most of us grew up with a idea of what the golden rule is: to do unto others as you want to be done. But something that I fully believe is that we teach others how to treat us. And we teach others how to treat us by how we treat them. And I mean, really, that's just science when you think about it. That's just circulation. You get what you give. Sometimes we say we give what we get. So that's where I get caught up. Do I give what I get? So my wife talked about not having to tell somebody their boo on the freeway. This was Steve Stone. This is his alternative to telling somebody they're number one on the freeway if something happens on the road. And I really like that. And actually, I've used it a few times, bro. And it feels a lot better to not go into the place of profanity. So this book, How to Speak of Science of Mind, it's very good. It's by Dennis Merritt Jones. And it's just a little bit of elevator talk about our faith tradition and ways to talk about science of mind in things that we've heard about. Do we believe in sinners? What is the difference between abundance and prosperity? You'll find things like that in this book. But what I found in the summary in the back was the first paragraph. And it says, the teaching of science of mind has one primary purpose: to assist individuals who desire and are willing to do the necessary work to heal their life of any and all discord, fear, superstition, guilt, and sense of lack. Wholeness is a reality, and it can be found at the very center of who and what we are now. In the process of creating a better life for ourselves, we add something of great meaning to the worth to the world. And the words that stuck out to me or jumped out at me are individuals who desire and are willing to do the necessary work. And my question to you to contemplate is, what is the necessary work, and are you doing the necessary work? Are you doing the necessary work of finding spirit in everything? In pain, in confusion, in the neighbor that likes to blow their dust and leaves into your yard, your siblings, your spouse. So when we think about neighbor, I know Donna talked about our coworkers, people on the freeway. But I like bringing it home a little more. I was having some conversations with a friend over the last couple of weeks, and being married is one of my most favorite things in the world. I absolutely love having a wife. We are best friends. We are each other's sounding board, and we also have to have our own practitioners and our own ministers, because we do not do that for each other. We wouldn't assume we could do that for each other, because together we don't, she's not my other half. She's my other whole. Amen. We're two wholes, and together we make something greater. But the word interdependent is really important to remember when you're in relationship, whether it's with your spouse or with your siblings or your coworker. Are we comfortable in being solid in who we are without needing the outside approval, without needing to be right? I think some people would rather be miserable and right rather than look at the alternative way of thinking. And so someone else said something to me last week about, we talk about love a lot in the church, and we hear a lot from the pulpit. All we need is love. Turn to love. But you never tell us how. I was okay. Well, let's talk about how, right? Donna talked about loving this. But what does that mean? Can I look in the mirror and look at myself and say that I love what I'm looking at? Not every day. But I try. I act as if. Because if I'm going to find God in the discord, or spirit in the discord, or the things that upset me in the world, then I have to be able to find it in the things that don't upset me in the world. And bring conscious awareness to this thing, to this power that's greater than us, that we can use, that it's with us all the time. But I can't just turn to it when I'm mad. I want to have tea with spirit. I want to have coffee with spirit. I want to know that there's love in the coffee that the barista just made for me. And if I didn't have a loving experience, am I willing to look at why? Maybe this person is having a horrible morning. Maybe they just lost a family member and they're at work because they couldn't get the day off. So to assume spirit in everything is to love thy neighbor, because when we love thy neighbor, we're loving God, we're loving spirit. I think I have friends. I started talking about my marriage and bring it back there for a moment. Because I didn't get married for me. I got married for her. And I got married for the experience of being in partnership and relationship. And to do that, my commitment, all the vows we take, we're with each other till death do us part. But I know some people in relationship and in marriage that argue until death do us part. Or that disagree about things that to some might seem silly in the grand scheme of love. Doing the dishes differently, or at different times, or not at all. Which way do we put the toilet paper on the toilet paper roll? Are you in over or are you in under? Right? So do you flush in the middle of the night and it makes too much noise, or do you leave it and it upsets somebody because they think it's unsanitary? Whatever it is, what we're talking about here is standards. These are standards. But values, now that's where I want to put my money and my energy in my relationship. We got married because we have the same values. I look to love first. I assume best intent. And if I don't feel love, or if I feel like I'm getting the side eye or the whatever it might be, then I go to curiosity. And I say, is there something I can do that would make your day brighter? Or maybe I just smile. Maybe I recognize that this little peeve that is bothering me has existed since the day I met her. It was one of the reasons I fell in love, and for some reason today it's upsetting me. And looking here and finding out, well, what's that about? When you go to the zoo and you see a crocodile or an alligator or SeaWorld, wherever it is, you'll find a crocodile or an alligator, maybe the Everglades. If you walk up to the alligator and it hisses and snaps at you, are you going to get mad at the alligator? Anyone? No? Yes? I mean, I might get a little scared, but I'm not going to get mad. Why? Because I know it's an alligator. I know it's an alligator. So, if you've got somebody in your life that's an alligator, and you continue to try and get them to be a koala bear, and they hiss and they snap at you, right? And you get mad, who's the one off kilter? Alligators are alligators. So it's worth looking here to find out, what do I want to do to be different? I'm in this marriage, I'm in this relationship, I'm in this co-worker partnership, in this collaboration to make something better. I'm a builder. Sometimes to be right, I have to tear stuff down. That's not who I want to be. I want to be a builder. So if I don't like this person's opinion, well, what can I do to add to it to make it prettier? It doesn't always have to go away. We love thy neighbor by acknowledging that they are just as important to this thing called life as I am. And I love my neighbor by also declaring that I am just as important as they are. Not pulling back when there's a snap and a hiss. Understanding that the snap and the hiss is their nature, but that doesn't make it them unnecessary. Life needs everything, all of us, all of it, all the nooks and crannies, the good, the bad, the ugly, because those are just opinions. Those are just what we call it. What's true is that it's all love. So how do we turn to love? We say, I love myself enough in this moment to not let this crap get to me. I love myself enough that I don't want to feel the pain that it causes me when I contemplate why this person's being nasty. I love myself enough to say, wow, this expression of spirit is having a hard day. How can I make it better? How can I contribute? Or just how can I not be a hemorrhoid, right? Like we all know that there's some holes out there. But don't stick to them. You know, let them have their moment. Pray for them. I know, my wife is embarrassed right now. I think she's telling me it's time to close. So, in closing, we're not here for ourselves. We're here for each other. We're here for the expressions we can add to, for the lives that we can contribute to, for the smiles that we can get on someone's face just by being in their presence. You know? You all do that for me. And you've done that for me for the last year that I've been here, and I'm very, very grateful. So, I feel loved by thy neighbor, and I hope you all feel the love from me. And in closing, I think I'd like to give a treatment. So if you'll move into prayer pose. Oh, the infinite one loves us in all its ways, gives us the freedom to be free thinkers. Through its creation, I turn my view to the right view of life. The right view with a capital R. The right view is that love is, it's everything. Its manifestation is everything I can touch, feel, hear, see. Anything that I can be aware of with my 5 senses, and then my 6th sense of awareness and imagination. It's all love. To dream is to love. To work is to love. To play is to love. So great, clear, effortless, and easy for each person in this room and within the sound of my voice. That love is our first nature. And our awareness is available to it in all moments, regardless of what may be happening. Love. Grateful for the universal truth, the one truth, which is love. I just let this go and I let it be, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I want to thank again Reverend Donna Starr. So, at this time in our services, when we ask the ushers to come forward and prepare to receive the gift of the day. And for a moment, you know, we're getting toward the end of our fiscal year here in the next couple of weeks. And you all will receive an invitation to a meeting that will happen in October where you'll talk about the health of the center and all the things that are pertinent. I want to mention a word about stewardship. Stewardship is a holy and sacred service. And each one of you in this room are stewards of this community. So as you are looking over your annual giving letter and the invitation to make a pledge or to let the office know what you plan to give in the next year or what you desire to give so that they can make their budget, that's really why they ask, or why we ask in advance, is to be able to plan. But as you are contemplating that, contemplate the idea of stewardship and what it means to be a member in spiritual community, what it means to have this sacred energy exchange for a place that you receive spiritual food. And know that your voice matters, that you are a working and active part of this community. And we thank you for your generosity. So if you would hold your gift or your intention over your heart and just say with me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does great work in the world. returns to me multiplied abundantly. Thank you. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Stay up here if you want.
Everything
In this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything.
And so it is, and we are so grateful because we have another song by our house band and Marty Csle.
And Marty.
I've seen love go by my door. It's never been this close before. Never been so easy or so slow. Well, I've been searching in the dark too long. When something's not right, it's wrong. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Dragging clouds so high above, I've only known careless love. It always is hitting me from below. This time around, it's more correct, right on target and so direct. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Purple clover, Queen Anne's lace, crimson hair see you in the sky above and the tall grass and the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. I'll see you in the sky above and the tall grass and the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go.
Love you, Marty. Csle. Love you, band. Paul, your guitar riffs, just. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, after 16 years, you haven't figured out how I am into the music. Look, I notice every little thing that everybody does, and I just love it. Anyway, so hi. My name is Linda. I am the spiritual leader here, and today I am doing announcements for you. And I want to thank Reverend Donna and Reverend Linda for a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message on Love Thy Neighbor, which is, if you really want to say, what is this teaching all about? That's the essence of this teaching, is we're here to love one another. That's it. That's the bottom line. There is no other. There is no them. There's only us. There is only us. And that's what we're here to remember. Announcements. Men's coffee every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Yes, I got that correct this time at the 5th Street Food Court. Get your coffee downstairs, get it somewhere else. I don't care, but meet them in the food court at 10 a.m. and just have a nice visit with the guys. At the Wednesday gathering, there's going to be a special this week gathering. It's Donna and Linda's last week. We are continuing the Wednesday gathering. It's just they're not going to be doing it anymore. But there's going to be a potluck at 5:30, and then the gathering will begin. So if you're interested in the potluck, come at 5:30. If you're on a diet or whatever, come at 6:30 or come somewhere in there, but just come and play and enjoy the celebration of these beautiful souls as they launch into their new work. And Patricia Parrott is continuing to do her energy work as a fundraiser for our community. It is an opportunity for you to receive some really healing energy to your body and soul and clean your energy field, and at the same time be able to donate to our centers. So I invite you to check it out. Patricia, would you stand so people can talk to you if they want to? This is Patricia. She was greeting you today, and she would be, just go chat with her. Annual membership. Thank you guys for mentioning that so beautifully, Linda, during the offering. I'm going to share a little bit of a transformational moment. I know it's just. When I was 37 years old, I divorced from 16 years of marriage. At the time, I owned a bar, I smoked heavily, I liked to party, and I spent about 7 years erasing my marriage and trying to find who the heck Linda was. And then I quit smoking, and when I quit smoking, I realized I was starving spiritually. And through a series of, very long story, I ran into somebody that I hadn't seen in 10 years. She told me she was going to this really amazing spiritual community and would I join her on Sunday. And that was when I walked into my first Science of Mind Center in January of 1994, and my life was transformed. I began studying immediately. Everything about it made sense to me. As I'm studying it, I'm thinking, this really isn't new. It's like I'm remembering stuff I knew at the depths of my soul. And I went to my first conference, the international organization, and there was 1,000 people there, and somebody was up there saying, this teaching saved my life. And I went, well, this teaching is really cool, and it's really, really helpful, and I'm really enjoying it, but that sounds a bit extreme. And the more I got into it, and the more I studied, and the more I looked at where I had been and where I was going, in about 3 years, I realized this teaching saved my life. And I think there's some of you out there nodding and smiling. It's done that for you as well. It's I guess in 12-step they say it works if you work it. Well, you have to do the work. You can't just come here on Sunday and say, oh, this is lovely, and we sang some songs, and wasn't the talk good? All right, I'm off going this for the rest of the week. We have to actually live it. We have to actually be it. And so I invite you to find ways to involve yourselves in becoming part of this community and helping each other as we walk each other home. Please complete your annual giving form. If you can't do it online, talk to them in the office. They will help you. If you're interested, we actually have 2 individuals now who are interested in joining the Board of Trustees. If anyone else is interested, we could, in fact, do a 3rd space, but at this point in time, bringing 3 members on the board at once seems a bit overwhelming, but let us know. Soup for the Soul, we're going to be doing our 3rd week this week, and this week we're doing spiritual beings. The fact, did you know that you're a spiritual being having a human experience? Well, that's what we're going to talk about this week, and I am making lasagna soup, which is with my world famous, infamous garlic cheese bread to go with. So, if you're vegan, I'm sorry, it ain't going to work for you. But for everybody else, you could still come and visit us. You know? So the Pacific Northwest Conference is happening in 3 weeks, you guys. I know here in Eugene we're famous for saying, "Oh, I'll take care of that when it's, when it gets closer." It's closer, okay? So please, if you have an extra room in your house and you'd be able to put up we have a group of people. I'll be contacting those of you who've helped us before, but a couple of our people have moved and no longer have room to take somebody, so we need some new spaces to put up either one of our musicians or one of our speakers. I have most of them handled, but we need a couple of them. So if you can assist with that, do so. If you can assist that night, several of you have come to me. Next week we'll be having a discussion about the various roles. So there'll be a thing in the newsletter if you'd like to sign up and be part of the volunteer team that helps out to support the speakers and the attendees. I don't think we've got anybody working in the book boutique today, but if you do go in there and find something you want, take it into the office and you can pay for it in there. And I just talked about sacred service, so I believe it's time to do a brief talk about the practitioners and what we do, and then we'll do our closing song.
So we have a group of practitioners here we've gone through training, and we're here to serve you. So if you have a moment and you'd like a miracle moment prayer, if you are in a situation where you can't see the forest for the trees, we can know for you your highest and best. And if you are having a fantastic time right now, we can help you amplify that. Because we know the truth of you, that we are all love, all light, all abundance. And so after service, I'll be in this area, and the other practitioners will be at the windows. And should we have them introduce themselves? Okay. Stand up, please, and yes.
I'm Reverend Linda.
So as you can see, we have an abundance of practitioners, and so we'd like to share that with you. And now I think we're in our closing song.
Say it's all right. Say it's all right. It's all right. Have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Now listen to the beat. Kinda pat your feet. You got soul, and everybody knows that it's all right. Oh, it's all right. When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like so many of us do, just hum a little soul and make life your goal, and surely something's got to come to you. Say it's it's alright. Say it's alright. It's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
All right, everyone, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my relationships. Life is in my wallet. And life is in my love practice. I can see it. I think it. I feel it. I express it. Just the way that it is. And just the way it is not. Thank you, life.